Mm. Though I pray for those who do and those who don't not to get cancer or anything. Because I don't condemn them for smoking. It's a God-made tobacco plant. Mm-hmm. You don't think the Lord knows you can make tobacco into a cigarette? I don't know. No. See, if you scare people into doing something or not, right, and they do it anyway, or you're trying to tell them something about it, right, something negative, you're not letting the spirit heal the body like it can't. You might even be condemning them, right, into thinking they're doing something wrong, and they might be self-punishing, right, and die from cancer. Do you understand? Faith, positive or negative, comes from hearing. Well, you see all the miracles Jesus is doing in the Bible. He can't help someone smoking cigarettes not to get cancer if they don't judge those who don't smoke, or, you know, right, at the same time, and pray for them not to get cancer if they smoke around them. Right. Right. Do you know what I mean? See, if you pray for someone and you're a smoker not to get harmed by your cigarette smoke, right, yet someone makes you think it's wrong to do it, and they get cancer too, is that not how faith works as well? Right. See, you're condemning the cigarette smoker and telling him he's going to die of cancer. So that it even affects non-smokers who are around the person smoking cigarettes. But wait a minute. Right. That's what Satan is teaching you to do, to give you both cancer. Right. The smoker and the non-smoker. The doctor might help a little because he's discovering something's going on with you. See, you're also condemning yourself and the non-smoker. Right? You're not forgiving them. Right? See, there's smoke, like Paul said. If you're going to do something, if you're going to eat vegetables, eat vegetables. If you're going to eat meat, eat meat. Right. If you eat both, eat both. Right. But whatever you do, do it to God. Now, if a vegetarian, though, comes to your house, you don't put a ribeye steak in front of them. You say, well, if you want to bring a dish, bring your own dish, because we don't serve vegetarian food. But you don't serve the vegetarian a steak dinner either. See what I mean? Right. But they can't expect you, if you eat meat, to kowtow to them either. Either one is a food source now. Right. Since the fall anyway. And everything's not, right? Even the animals, right? And you breed the cattle for different purposes. Milk, right? And when the cattle reaches a certain age, of course, you don't slaughter them like Moses said, right? You don't slaughter a calf 2 years or and under, right? As soon as it's birthed. Now, what about veal, you might say? That depends on how often you eat it, right? Okay, and veal is something, okay, that's a delicacy, right? You might can eat once in a while, which is a young calf, right? Under 2 years old. But you can't do that with every calf either. Some you gotta let grow into adulthood, or you'll run out of steaks and other stuff, right? But again, if you eat veal once in a while, who can say that's wrong either? But you understand the point, right? You can't always eat veal either. Which is a young calf under two. But again, if you like veal and you want it once in a while, like veal parmesan, right? Well, that's what you're eating, right? Is a young calf under 2 years old, killed early, right? But that don't mean every calf, though, can become a veal dinner for you either. You gotta eat it what? Sparingly, right? So, even if they stop serving veal because it's cruel to the animal, right? Okay, you understand why you might not get a veal dinner. But you can still make steak parmesan or something. Similarly, right? You see what I mean? All it is like a cube steak fried, right? Except what's the difference? Right? You put marinara sauce on it and cheese. Parmesan cheese. There you have it. Now the veal dinner, but it's of a cow of appropriate age. And then you have you a veal dinner. Even if it's not veal per se as the traditional Italian meat is prepared, right? Which is a young calf under two. But that's again probably why you can't really find it a lot anymore either. When I was in Great Lakes, I would order veal from the local thing, right, and have it delivered sometimes, right? Right. But that was up in Chicago area too, Waukee and Great Lakes and Great Lakes. But again, right. Now it's also easier if you're out and about to eat on the run anyway. Unless again you're at home a lot too. I could do it 50-50, right? I can at least eat lunch and dinner and maybe something breakfast and lunch in, right? But dinner I might eat out. And that's more expensive. If I want to go to Longhorn real quick while I'm doing something out for a steak dinner, that's up to me. That's up to you. Now, what we got to do, though, is find a way, okay, to survive whatever's going on to make it through it, right? Now, you can't make it about what the people are saying alone, right? Because of freedom of speech. Now, if I'm saying something, right, you don't know I'm not being sarcastic or literal or that I'm not setting you up for something because me and my new girlfriend are testing you if you're blacking me out or something, right? Whoever it is. If I don't know she even came by, that's what we're testing on you. Why don't I know she came by? Are you ratting me out that I have a new girlfriend and doing something to interfere with my dating life? All right. She knows she came by. If she came by and took the money order, right? She also knows she returned it, right? And if she's in here for a while, what we're also testing is whether we're having sex or not. If you're, again, interfering in my dating life, right? If me and her did things, right, you're interfering in my dating life with her. And she don't like it either, right? You understand? Right. Because if you're looking for something pretty much all morning, right, once you have a plan, right, your plan usually starts first time you wake up, right? So the plan was I had 2 money orders. One I was about to mail off, right, and put in the mail. The other one I hadn't yet spent, but I get paid Friday, right? So I was going to take that one to the bank and cash it, right? And I probably told her at least that part up to there, right? But then when I started looking for it, I couldn't find it, and I don't know what happened to it. See, I could have gave it to her voluntarily to hold, right? But don't remember that part of it and return it if I noticed it was missing. And again, she also knows she returned it if she returned it. Fool. But see, they don't want to help me and her get together, whatever's going on. They don't want us together, which is pissing us both off. They won't let her either break up with her ex-boyfriend, which she might want to do. I don't know. I'm guessing. Or they think she's too young, but she's probably legal age, right? Or whatever the issue is, right? See, she could even be a young-looking female, but of a certain age to be with me, right? So you can't do nothing if the girl's over 18 anyway. You might not like it that an older single male who divorced his wife amicably 25 years ago wants to find a young thing. But it's not like, again, I'm going after my stepdaughter or anything. Even in telling you all that crap, I'm telling you about it. The only reason it would happen is if her boyfriend actually believes your dumbasses and won't have sex with his girlfriend. Like this is real, no. And keeps acting like she ain't a virgin and won't pop her cherry or something. Which is crazy, right? Right. On him. And then, right, because I'm joking around about it, because of you, I start pretending, well, if he won't pop your cherry, I will. I know you're a virgin. Yeah, that's what I'm telling her. I believe you. I know. I won't even question you. But I'm not serious, right? So she would also have to come from Texas or Arkansas, where the hell she is, Texas, Arkansas, wherever. You know what I mean, right? And actually have sex with me and leave, right? Because she's not from Georgia, is she? No, not. So, again, like most people, Daphne went home to where she was from, and I went home to where I was from, so I don't really have contact with the girl, right? That's another thing I'm concerned with. When you're attacking me, you're attacking my ex-wife and her daughter, right? You're saying, okay, that she didn't know she wasn't molested, right? When she was 4. Nor her mother to report it to the police. Idiot. That's what I mean. And that's when Law and Order, the original series, started out. Then a few years later, they did Law and Order Criminal Intent. And then in 99, they did SVU. Right. Well, I know all that. Duh. I watch NBC a little bit. And they had 2 spin-offs, actually. Criminal Intent and SVU. Right? And even Anthony Anderson from Blackish was on Law and Order for a brief time with Jeremy Cisco or something like that. Cisco, wherever it is. And again, it's just the point. I watch that. I watch the shows. Because what? I'm sitting at home watching TV. Watching TV. Well, I remember the one about the crazy blonde girl who was trying to mess with Vince's character in Criminal Intent. I forgot all the details right now. I ain't seen them in a while, but anyway, they were playing a game of cat and mouse. He was playing with her for a while. She was being a sly one. I forgot her name, right? And, but he was working with the female, the light blonde, blue, almost brownish hair. Right. That's the guy from Men in Black 1, right? Who played the alien in The Farmer, where the alien spacecraft crashed. Right. And also in Jurassic World, right? Not the Lost World, that's the one with Jeff and Juliana, right? Julian. Uh, from Boogie Nights with Mark Wahlberg and Burt Reynolds. And what's Heather, what's her name? Yeah, right. Roller Girl. Anyway, that's all that. That's all that. And see, I don't think you're getting Jesus' message. Don't judge and play God to each other and condemn each other for silly shit. Not even if they stone you, beat you, and try to put you on a cross. Right. And kill your ass. Right. Father, forgive them. They know not what they do. That's where you don't understand. Satan is tricking you by the law, even, to commit the sin of murder when if God don't want you dead, no one can murder you. Right? You understand? Mm-hmm. Even Paul died because he believed the Roman axe that cut off his head was greater than God. Right? You understand? Right? Most people do. Even the guillotine. Right? Off with their head. Right? Even the Highlander, okay, can be killed if you cut off his head. Huh? No. But not a true man of God. Right. But that don't mean you cut off everybody's head who don't believe the same as me either. That's crazy too. Right. You're not supposed to murder somebody, right, and plot to kill them anyway. It's simply doing the opposite of life. Right? And just seeing if you can. And I think, children who harm animals also get that from Satan's point of view. Because he tried to do a coup in heaven like Absalom did with King David, right? That's the point, right? Jesus is the firstborn of every creature. So what does that automatically make Satan? The secondborn, right? So who's more like the father and mother of Satan? Jesus himself. Jesus himself. Right? Now, even if they're formed completely asexually, you know what I mean, right? That's also something different about the angels and Adam alone, right? And then Christ alone, and then maybe Moses was one, right? Because of the sin in Genesis 6 and chapter 3. Involving the one of us we became as to know good and evil, or you're not reading the story right. See, if you take the word tree there, and yet there were other trees in the garden, how do you know it was a fruit tree even? If the Bible talks in Judges 9 about the trees looking for a king, what does that mean? Who are the trees there? The men. The men. There, whoever wrote that section of Judges, right, is comparing men to trees. David, in fact, when he actually was king, said, I am like a green olive tree. Right. Even the blind man said, I see men as trees or stick figures, right? Before he could clearly see, right? Jesus had to do something to him twice, right? And repeat the step twice. But the blind man, seeing the men as trees, see clearer than you if Satan is the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Himself. And then you don't want to see the metaphor Moses used there. It wasn't a literal tree, a fruit tree, yielding seed. It was the seed that the body of Satan would produce to try and impregnate Eve, try and get Adam to impregnate him, and kind of did a quid pro quo thing to also get their butts. Right? That's my theory of the good and evil part of the sex of Satan. Right? Now, what kind of sex do you think they had in Eden before the fall? Straight? No homosexuality? That's the problem. That's the problem. See, you can't have children who can even be gay Unless, again, you start with straight sex. Or you can't be gay. You also have to have enough children where it affects the population, where some of them might can freely choose it as well to be gay. And even then, if they do choose it, that's not what Satan did it for. He did it to get us to condemn the act. Right? It don't say you can't forgive it and have sex with a man who feels the same way about it as you do either, right? Nowhere in the Bible does it indicate that you can't even marry and be gay, right? It just does say something about marriage being honorable to all or in all, whatever that means in that passage, right? In Hebrews 13. Right? But does that mean even a gay couple can legally marry, right? If they commit to being both gay in each other's marriage, right? Now, like with a straight marriage, though, you can't commit adultery, right? Or the other partner can divorce you then, right? And that's the point. You just treat it like a straight marriage, right? Because of the population increase. Whatever. If you feel so inclined, right? But the problem comes in when, like in George Michael's song, right? You see it as a burden to have a child with a woman, right? Mm-hmm. I forget the name of the song, but it was on Faith. But it's talking about how George gets married, right? Gets this girl pregnant and knocks her up, and she's working him to death and all that. I forgot. It's been a while since I even heard it. Right? But anyway, that's another reason I heard people go gay. They don't want to deal with a bitchy woman and pay her child support for the rest of their lives. Now, I don't mind that. In fact, I gave Daphne a bill of divorcement like Moses said and got her to sign it that I would give her $250 a month for Jonathan. Right. And also did it in our legal divorce, right? Which was through a lawyer in Virginia, right? And like I said, right, I ain't doing this again with Amanda. But the only way it would happen is if it's messing with a boyfriend, right? And he won't have sex with his own girlfriend because he's believing the lie. Mm-hmm. And trying to make her admit she's not a virgin. Well, she should be. If you ain't had sex with her and I ain't had sex with her, I ain't gonna have sex with her with Daphne in the other room. On that. I mean, that's stupid. Right. Woman left me stranded in Tennessee. Not this white boy. I ain't got time for that. No can do. No, I can't go for that. No can do. Can do. Quote Hall and Oates there for no, not that. Now I might help her go to the bathroom or something. Might get a little weird if she don't go. I have to make sure she didn't pee already or something. Depends on how late at night it is. Know what I mean? Right. Or if I think she needs a shower, which sounds made up too. All right. By the way, trying to figure out what the hell I could have done to the child. You might confuse if you set her up for it too, right? Because no one's gonna just know that, right? That's not common knowledge whether someone loves a child or not. No, it's not. No, it's not. You don't just start accusing somebody on YouTube either. Unless you know the person like Salvador or someone on base. And then Salvador can know someone on base I don't know he knows, and then they attack me over it. Right? Even. I don't know. Maybe he's tapping